Back here with Battle Cry, man-to-man combat in the Pacific Theater. Really, U.S. Marines against Imperial Japanese Army on an island somewhere in the South Pacific, or in the Pacific Theater. Here to talk about the game. A lot of general remarks. First of all, probably most significant of all is that I think earlier I kind of half-heartedly or off the cuff said how much I think this game should be revived, updated, but not categorically, not streamlined, not simplified, not made more elegant, none of that stuff. But no, just updated. It's a great game, absolutely great game. But I know I need to show why, and I was thinking, I'll just state this now. I don't think this comes through in video well, so it is what it is. But even the smallest situation, so thinking in terms of different play situations, even the smallest situation can still be interesting here with this design. And I guess it's just all the different little decisions you can make and try. It's just fascinating. Okay, so the first point is, yes, I keep thinking about it more and more. This game should be updated. Now, having said that, this is what I'm thinking. This is one thing I'm thinking. So I have these counters right here, right? I know old-time grognards will recognize these right away. I think these are from my sniper game, which I think is the SF one, or the Special Forces one. So you got your automatic rifleman, you've got your machine pistol unit, soldier, you got your rifleman, like that. By the way, they're up on one side, flip it over, they're down. Kind of obvious. You see where I'm going with this? Okay, so why would I consider, let's take Brady here. No, not Brady. That's not a good example. Let's take Jay here. All right. So this is why. Okay, these some of the worst war game graphics of all time. That's supposed to be a soldier. It's just horrible. It's horrible. And that's up. Flip it over. It's down. But you don't get a figure at all. You just get the D in a circle. Down. Okay. Okay, so that's down. I got it. Okay, but here's the problem. When you start playing the game, you realize how important it is to stay down. Not all soldiers all the time, but see here, every single Marine is down. Every single Marine is down because they're at the seawall. This is the seawall here, right? So this is the seawall, so obviously it makes sense that they would be down because they're ready for machine gun fire, and especially they're ready for indirect fire, right? Okay, so they're all down. Well, here's the problem. Even these miserable little stick figures, you're not seeing them. Most of the time you're not even seeing those because the soldiers are down, right? This is a very typical fighting position right here, right? I've got 3 Japanese IJA soldiers, right? So I'm learning that I'm going to keep 2 of these soldiers down, Taga and Ogawa. They're going to stay down for survivability. Now Kawano is the 3rd soldier in the fighting position. He's going to be up. Why? Because, let me make sure I'm right. Yep. Here's why. Here's why you can't stay entirely down for the Japanese in this situation, because the performance rating is one less. It's down. It's a penalty almost in your performance rating to be down. So that's why I'm thinking you mix up and down. Also, there's some also, and there's also firepower. There's also a firepower penalty essentially. The AP firepower is one less as well. And there's a couple other specific, again, penalties more or less for being down. So I think you want to mix your forces in many cases. Anyways, bottom line is every Marine is down, and bottom line is a majority. I'd say probably maybe, again, it's probably 2/3 are down to 1/3 at most. The Japanese defenders are up, right? Here's another mixed position. This position has 2 up and 1 down. Why? Because they are, they're back a little further, and they are also in a shell. I mean, these guys are in a shell hole too, but they're far forward. These guys are also in a shell hole for the defensive benefit, but they're also farther back, about twice as far back as this fighting position. Okay, so that's why I'm thinking of, and you may see me switch over. So let me take back to J. Here's J, Rifleman J. He's armed with an M1, and I'm thinking of maybe moving to using the generic these great counters actually with just the right. Now obviously just the right graphics, I mean. So up and down. Now here's the thing, I think if I do this, obviously all of the soldiers are going to have to be transferred to a sheet. So I'll go ahead and I'll transfer in columns for AP firepower and assault rating and performance rating, and all the unit info is going to be on a table if I do this, and that is the idea. Go ahead and use the orange here for the IJA. Okay, there's that. Now let's get back to how we're actually playing. I'm going to go ahead and experiment right now. I was using brown 3 markers for having moved in the 3rd phase, and then also using a brown 4 if a unit moved in the 4th phase as my memory aids. Very, very important to the rules. But now I've played long enough to say, okay, according to the rules, according to the rules that I've covered, if phasing player units move, they have to move in the 3rd phase. They have to. So therefore, I should be able to replace them with, again, these are old ATS markers. Just take an old ATS move marker. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I can even put them behind if I want. And then take the 3 off, again for the idea that, okay, so off to the side, this is an extra counter reminding me that it's the American player turn, so this tells me that this is the phasing player. And so therefore the Marine Olsen, who was moved because he's a phasing player unit, he's a Marine in this case, and he moved, this has to be the 3rd phase, which is what I need. I need to know the phase that they moved. So this stack back here, now I remember, they tried to move and they failed their PC, so they did not move at all, but I'm going to go ahead and put a move marker on them again to show, because we need to know that. We need to know that they tried to move in the 3rd phase. Now if the non-phasing player moves, I can also mark them. Let's say these guys moved, but this would be the 4th phase, because the non-phasing players units, if they move, it is in the 4th phase.